What's up everyone and welcome back to HateWatchers. Today we're continuing on with our reviews of the second season of the Wheel of Time with episode 5, entitled Damane. Let's get right into the breakdown. Spoilers ahead. We open up with Xerxes in the magical Mongol city as she presents the High Lord with her prisoners before getting a much needed nail trimming. Like all of his appearances, Padon Fane comes out of nowhere to deliver the horn of random prophecy so that book fans don't complain about its absence. Moraine, on the run from Lanfear with Rand, steals some horses, but that's not enough for Moraine, who also steals the stable owner and then murders another horse. Lanfear finds the murdered horse and is like, "I'm the bad guy? All I'm trying to do is bang Rand all day." But then she pops this guy's head like a zit, confirming her evilness. Captain Crack Sparrow is explaining to Perrin that this is his wolf pack now, and then asks Perrin, "Hey, how's your wife?" Ha 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 ha. So Perrin leaves. Perrin wanders alone, sulking, when Hopper catches up to Perrin and makes him follow so Hopper can show off his big turd. Sneaking into the town where he was originally attacked, Perrin is getting a good look at the corpses for sale when one of the corpses tells him he's being too loud. A monk comes out and tells Perrin not to touch the merchandise before asking Perrin out for dinner. Perrin's not gay, but he's just that hungry. As the monk orders a 5th round of drinks to impair Perrin's judgment, Perrin notices the guy is actually a white cloak. Then Perrin slips out of the guy's grasp for the night. The innkeeper shows Perrin to his room before telling him there's no locks on the doors, which concerns Perrin. Perrin then notices the white cloak head honcho is still alive and afraid of dogs. Lanfear comes across the stable lady who asks Lanfear why she's dressed like a whore, so she sews her mouth shut. Wisdom, Prissy Pants, and the Egg are being held captive in the ways by Chipmunk Supreme. Chipmunk Supreme takes this time to explain to Wisdom that she's actually a Chipmunk Supremacist, and she thinks Wisdom should join the Dark One. And then she has to clarify she's not saying that Wisdom should join the Dark One because of her skin color, but because she's so much smarter than Chipmunk assumed she was. Perrin can't sleep knowing that there's no locks on the doors, so he goes outside and frees the girl in the cage. She tells him her life story, giving the White Cloaks plenty of time to notice and surround them. She puts on her mask to appease fans of the books, and then the strong, vaguely diverse woman kills all of the grown men who are armed and armored to the teeth. At Perrin's request, she spares this guy because killing him would have been a hate crime. Rand and Moraine, still on the run from the dark, existential threat that is Lanfear, make a quick stop in this town as they get a hankering for buffalo wings. Moraine, still on a warpath ever since dumping land and becoming single, visits home to steal her sister's horses too, mocking her nephew in the meantime. Chipmunk emerges from the ways in front of Xerxes in her faraway land and asks if this is the dump because she's got some straight trash to drop off. Wisdom, Egg, and Prissy Pants make a run for it, and the other two are secretly thrilled to find out that Egwene got caught. Perrin tries to keep his food down at lunch with this girl who keeps talking about giving Perrin her moisture. Wisdom and Prissy Pants sneak into a nearby city, but they head down the wrong alley and get mugged. Back in the White Tower, Chipmunk is greeted by this old Indian Aes Sedai, Priyanka Patel, and Chipmunk calls her fat in a roundabout way. Moraine is hungover and her sister bathes her because she's stinking up the place.
You should have stayed away.
Cutting to Rand, Ishamael has snuck into his bed and he's about to get super inclusive, but it's actually Lanfear. Phew! Ishamael and Lanfear both fantasize about Rand in their bed. Wisdom wakes up to find that she's been adopted by a friendly, diverse, undercover Aes Sedai. Xerxes brings the High Lord a gift, a captive Egwene who's even more insufferable now that she has cornrows, and they put that bitch on a leash. Moraine tells Rand that Lanfear and the previous dragon were once lovers, so maybe Rand should go to sleep, which will allow Lanfear to find him, and then he can seduce her. So, Rand has the choice to get some shut-eye and continue banging Lanfear, or stay awake forever. So you can guess what he chooses. He falls asleep and immediately has an absurdly kinky dream about Lanfear, and the episode comes to an end. And with that, we've reached that point in the video where we have to decide if this episode was a great watch or a hate watch. We're sticking with the hate watch designation for this episode, if only because of how tediously long these episodes are. There's some kind of interesting stuff going on, or that the show is building up to, but it's incredibly boring along the way. And honestly, from my understanding of the events of the second book, The Great Hunt, I don't recognize any storylines being adapted in this show, so I can't even begin to discuss how wrong or right things are. This show continues to just be off doing its own fan-fiction-y thing. One thing I did learn from my dive into the story of the book series is that people like this girl, the ones with the masks, wouldn't be caught dead without their masks on. So I'm sure book fans are rolling their eyes at that change in this show. I didn't feel like anything in this episode warrants a long discussion, so I'll leave it at that for now. Comment below. Those that are familiar with the book series, did you recognize anything from this episode as having happened in the source material? Which character's bastardization do you find the most insulting or egregious? Let us know. Also, if you haven't already, hit the like button if you liked the video, as it helps our videos reach more struggling fans out there. And consider subscribing to HateWatchers to stay up to date on the Wheel of Time. Thank you for being a Chipmunk Supremacist with us today, and we'll catch you on the next one.